Hey guys, this story time will be about how I almost got arrested. Now, let's just get straight into this story. Basically, me and my friend were just hanging out, chilling at my house. Not really doing much. Just bored. Let's call my friend, Mark. So there's this abandoned factory near us. So obviously, as dumb teenagers were like, hey, let's go here. Why not? We got nothing else to do, so why not? So we do, obviously. And also some context about the place. People get chased out about every other day by a guy that lives on the street. Let's call him Brad. So because of Brad, it's a big risk to go there, because he would chase you out and you could get caught. Now, let's get to the story. Basically, we get there, we plan out how we're gonna go in. Also, there's this There's this bike trail / like a walking trail, and we were walking up like the bike / walking trail side of the place, and about 3/4 of the way in, all we hear is Brad's truck that he uses to try and catch people. But all we hear is just like, I'm trying to think of how to explain it, like the engine roaring, basically. We can hear the engine building up, like getting louder and louder. And that's him pushing the pedal all the way down, and him reaching probably around 90-ish, going at me and Mark. And he probably came within about inches of hitting me, I want to say. And when I say inches, I mean inches. So, as soon as he stopped the truck, he immediately gets our faces. So, we're like immediately thinking, wow, we are screwed. Like, literally screwed. So, as we're walking with him, I whisper to Mark, I'm like, hey Mark, what do we do? And he says, whatever you do, do not say your name. And I just think, alright, that makes sense, and I wasn't going to anyways. So basically, Brad, he gets in contact with the owner to talk to us and brings him over. And Brad tries to pin everything that's happened there over the past however many years it's been abandoned on us. So basically, he was saying stuff like, oh, you guys broke all the lights, you guys broke sinks or something like that, you guys broke down all the doors. And then Brad says that we broke into his house and stole stuff from his shed and his house. And me and Mark were like, no, we did not do that. Like, I don't think Brad realized that homeless people also sleep in the factory. And I don't think he realized that it was probably just them to get tools to like break in again. I didn't say that, obviously, because I didn't really think of it. But he didn't listen when we told him that it wasn't us, which I find kind of stupid, because how would two teenagers, I guess there's a way that we could have done that, but it wasn't us. Like, we're just trying to be honest with him, and he was just being an asshole. And then after a bit of that, he's like, him and the owner were like, oh, if you tell us your names, you can just leave. All we'll do is just write it down on file, and if anyone else comes here, then we'll call the cops and tell them it was you. And we're like, that's not really that fair, because if it wasn't us, why would we get in trouble for it? So we're like, me and Mark were like, no, we basically just said, nah, fuck you. Like, that's the stupidest deal I've ever heard. And basically, since we didn't tell him our names, he called the cops on us. They arrived about, I want to say, an hour later, give or take. And, of course, Brad and the owner immediately said that we broke into his shed and his house and everything and stole stuff, broke everything, blah blah blah. Like I said before, whatever, like, we're the first people in there or something like that. I don't know what he said. But, the officer was like, hey, do you guys mind just going back to what you were doing before and let me talk to these guys? And then obviously they leave, and the officer's like, hey, can you guys just tell me the truth? Because he's saying that you were in here, he's saying that you guys did a bunch of this stuff. And we're like, no, all we did was walk up the trail, and he just called the cops. That's all we did. And then he asked about, like, the names, why we didn't give it to him. I'm like, well, we didn't really want to, we basically just said we didn't want to give it to some random fucking weird-ass guy that we don't know, that almost killed me, basically. I don't know why I didn't tell him about how he almost hit me with his truck, but I probably should have said that. But obviously the officer believed us for the most part, but still believed Brad about the part of us breaking in, even though we didn't. And that almost ended us, I really cannot speak today, Jesus. That almost ended up as us in jail, so it was a close call. But luckily, he was a good cop and let us go without a charge or anything, just basically a warning. And I still can't believe it to this day that we got away like that easily. We almost got in jail and we got away with nothing. Like, it's crazy to me. But yeah, that's basically the end of this story, guys. Just make sure to leave your story times in my email. They'll be left in the description. And if you have any questions for me, just email me them too. Anything else I should say? Please leave a story time. That's about it. Have a good day, guys, or night, or afternoon. I don't know what it is for you guys, but just have a good one.